Hi, this is Chart Gal Lori bringing you the Fab4 futures on May 21st, 2020. Let's get started with the weakest. We're going from weakest to strongest today, and we can see that we had some sector rotation. The FANG index really suffered somewhat, Netflix having a very poor performing day, and it really impacted the Nasdaq. But just want to give a little perspective. We are still in a nice, healthy uptrend on Nasdaq. So we have this nice push up, consolidation, nice push up, and we can consolidate in this rectangular area, which would be a nice place to buy for bulls. And that's in between 87.42. You can see here the 12 EMA and the red EMA 85.63. Of course, that changes day to day as the moving averages move to meet price and support it. So the bulls have just ran really hard. An analogy I like to use is just imagine the bulls sprinting, and they're like, oh, I need a break. I need to go back to the bench. The EMA serves as the bench for the bulls to come back and get some water. Okay, here, running. Oh, I need a towel. I need some water. I need a rest. And they come back to the EMAs to rest. It's not necessarily a sign of weakness on consolidation. It could be just them catching their breath. So Nasdaq on the daily, we did break the high of yesterday, and then we pulled back and ended red on some elevated bear volume, something to note. And I also wanted to show you, I use Rsi Divergence as one of the tools in my toolkit. And as you could see, when we had bear divergence here and here, we pulled back and hidden bull divergence here. And here at the bottom of the screen, May 14th, we popped up. And now we're getting into some potential bear divergence area. It'll be interesting to watch if regular bear divergence prints. And I'll be charting it as well on RSI. And I'll call it out to you as I see it. On the 4-hour, we are approaching the 26 EMA. Our next support is 92.73. On lower term time frames, actually 93.22. Then 9273, and our resistance is 9510.75, and then it's psychological, same thing from yesterday, psychological levels over that high and up to 9763. So just a little perspective. Yes, this is some red. We haven't seen red in a while, but it is healthy consolidation at this point. It is, bulls are not concerned yet. ES. These fib levels that we started going over last week when we started the futures videos, the fib levels are coming into play over and over. And I've mentioned that I've got my eye on the prize, this 50 MA on the weekly, which is currently at 2996. We came within $25 of that today and we pulled back. And where did we pull back to? Let's zoom in. That 0.618 retrace of 2930. So from the high of January and February to the low of the dump in March, it is really key to use those areas. So in this case, it was February 20th until March 23rd to use those retraces and keep them on your charts. This was a nice area to buy. Today right here, got a nice pop up and then we pulled back again. All right, your levels on SPY are the low 2933, then 2925. Your resistance 2973 double top, then 2975. We are getting a 12 and 26 cross on the 1 hour, and it has been a hot minute since we got a bear 12 and 26 cross. It happened back on May 12th. So just something to keep in mind. That is bearish sign where the EMAs are pointing down. Dow is struggling to keep this 200-day moving average at 23839. Again, we're hovering over that 50. We've been talking about that 50. I've been talking about it in our room 6 weeks. 6 weeks straight struggling with the 50% retrace. And also, I'm keeping an eye on BA. BA is a large component of the Dow, and see what type of impact it has to the Dow. So on the 4-hour, we have, I don't want to call it an EQ because we did break higher, but then we wicked out. So we have a key area in here at 24583, and then we broke over by 100 points and then pulled back pretty sharply. So you have support at 24300, 24076. You have resistance at 24660 and 24765. Again, elevated bear volume. We're noting, what have we said? The bears need volume to pull down price. Bulls don't need it. Bulls can just float up on lower volume. Bears have to prove it with volume. So on the weekly here, I just changed my fibs around earlier. Let me get that back on my chart. Here we have been struggling for 4 weeks in a row with RTY at 1337. Let's look at it on the 4 hour. 4 hour RTY looks a little bit healthier than these other three. As I said earlier, we're going from weakest to strongest, and RTY was definitely one of the stronger outperformers today. You have support at 1327, 1297.50, and resistance at 1355.30. And then next resistance is up here at 1374. And I showed you last night how to set alerts, and we talked about the short. We didn't make it up to this 1374 area, but there were a few people that caught this short here, and for the move down, that was 250 points. That was really good. So again, 1374 area, I would love for price to float up to that level, and that would be a potential triple top short. And then finally, Aussie 6A. Last week, we started off talking about all of these. Let me just clear out some of these other things. Talking about all of these dips to the 50 or pop-ups to the 50 MA, and then they were rejected. So we had this huge pull down, and now we're approaching that 50 MA, the yellow line, at 0.6714. And I mentioned that I would like to short the Aussie as we approach this, especially this level here, 6686. It's getting closer. As you can see, this was brought down on huge bear volume, very small bull volume, showing very little demand for this product as it approaches the 50 MA. So I'd like to look at it on the 4 hour. We have an equilibrium brewing. So we have the high at 6599. Then 6617, then the low of this candle 6549, then 6528. It is brewing for a short, and we're getting closer now. You could short 6A. A potential setup would be to short it in this area and then use this 6599 as your stop. So the closer that it could get to this area would be a good short, but it kind of looks like another bear flag, but it looked like it over here and then it popped up. So, of course, this is complete correlation to the dollar. This is the Aussie shows strength against the dollar. So if you think the Aussie is stronger than the dollar, then you buy this long. If you think the dollar is stronger, then you short this. I'm looking for a short here. And I forgot to point out one more thing on the weekly. We are printing some hidden bear divergence here on the chart, which I really like to trade on larger time frames. So my eyes are peeled on 6A for a potential short. Thank you for joining me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the video.